Yeah.
Okay, well, it's recording. Should we try this?
Yeah.
Okay. Round two. What's on the agenda? What's top of mind for you? Week 2, or not week 2? I mean, it's week 12, something like that.
Quite a couple stuff. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to hear about Hermes. We can edit it later, but what was that about?
So today's July 4th, 2026, and then just yesterday I downloaded Hermes to do like agentic work. I just wanted to try it out, and it is like I am like 6 months late to the party because OpenClaw came out. I think like way long ago, like November of last year, and then I
I remember
downloaded
that.
that and I tried it out, but I haven't really used it since. So like actually, I'm like super late to the party, like over half a year. So I just tried it out yesterday because I got a new laptop and basically I need to reconfigure fresh laptop, so I need to re-download all of the packages, like all of the tools, like everything to do development work locally on Mango.
Cool.
And usually that would take you like a good amount of time, because actually it's kind of like a lot,
Okay.
especially with some AWS
Yeah, what
stuff.
happened?
So all I did was literally I had Codex on my old laptop. I just say give me a prompt, or like write a doc of a list of everything this Hermes agent will need to do in order to get things running on my new laptop. And I just copy pasted that to Hermes, and it just did it. Obviously, I don't want to exaggerate. It needed some inputs from me. Like I had to give him some like email credential stuff or some like keys or whatever. And it would stop occasionally to ask for more stuff. But for the most part, it just kind of downloaded like basic stuff like Go or like like npm, or like download all the CLI tools,
And all you have to do
everything
is
that's
open up.
necessary.
You started with one program, and it would browse the web and download all those packages for you.
Yes, it downloaded
This is
everything.
that's sick. Yeah.
And there were some problems because it said it finished, and then I tried doing my thing, and then it didn't work. So we had to go back and forth like 3-4 times. But in general, like it did everything. So it pulled from GitHub, it ran all the tasks, it like did everything that I needed to do to run locally.
How much time do you think it saves you, start to end? How much was it, and then without it, how long would it have taken? Probably.
I think it took like 2 hours, like 2 to 3 hours. And then without that, having to like go through everything, because it had to do there was like some local Terraform stuff and all this crap. And then that would have been like, because I don't know how any of that works, really. It's like, it would have taken me like 6, I think.
6 hours. Whoa, that's crazy. That must have felt good. That's you either have some of your day left, or it's all day doing that.
Yeah. I'm missing a lot. There's a lot of other stuff that I had to download. But yeah, it was cool. So yeah, 6 months, almost 8 months late to the party. Well, Hermes came around. I think it became popular like I want to say like 4 months ago, I think. But by doing that, like learn like all the ways we could use it for Mango, and specifically with how you can imagine anytime someone writes like a feature request or reports a bug to the Kanban board, pretty much, you could basically have Hermes read from a certain logic gate. Whenever it gets something new, it just reads it, and it could just go investigate by itself. Or it could chat the user that sent it there, asking for more information. And so literally, like, you could paste a screenshot and like type out what's wrong, and immediately you could get a chat saying, hey, can you like explain this real quick? What did you mean by this? Can you be a little more descriptive? And once it gets enough context of how to fix it, it'll just go and do it completely on its own. It'll spin up its own work tree. And then once it's done, it'll do a pull request pretty much, and then I just have to say yes or no. So it could do that for like, so that's how, instead of me like, doing everything by hand and sleeping like, overnight, it could just do this constantly.
Interesting.
So I just need to check. So yeah, that's how I'm probably gonna. I really want to set this up.
So you knew
now.
Hermes was there, And it's just that yesterday, while you were buying the new computer and setting up, you're like, let's try it. Let's just do it. Let's take a pause from all the specific fixes and pushes you're making and be like, hey, does Hermes work?
Yes.
And you discovered that it is something.
Yes, because because there's so much marketing online. That's the problem, is that there's so much marketing,
Yeah.
and I would hear like conflicting stories based on who had more marketing budget that month. So like when her Open Club was super hyped up in like the earlier parts of this year, and then the hype died down, and then
Yeah.
Hermes, like they're more popular now because they're more active. Like his X handle's like Technium or something, and he's like way more active on X. And he's like, so it's like I know this is like a lot of it is marketing, and so yeah.
Interesting.
But then it was on Reddit when I just like asked people on Reddit like, how are you using this? Like, does it actually work? And then people were like, yeah, I use it for this and that. I was like, okay, when I get the time, I'll try it out. And it was like just a good time right now. So
yeah,
trying it all out.
Hell yeah, man. I have full confidence it's gonna feel like a mini miracle once it's plugged in.
Oh yeah. And it could read all the emails. It could do that architecture I showed you yesterday. It would probably do all that.
So is this stuff you want to share with people, or is it more like private? Your discussion of the Hermes and how to integrate into the product.
I mean, it's nothing like top secret. Anyone with like half a brain could figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you have an app where you need to search through a lot of things and maybe do some development work on its own. I mean, this is like very common knowledge in the Bay Area. Like this is how people do bugs right now. So it's nothing new, really. I'm actually really behind the curve.
Cool, man. Okay, so yeah, that's super exciting to hear. Thanks for sharing that. What else is on your mind?
Can we get political? Well, I mean,
do it right now. That's so funny. I'm thinking about Alex Karp. Anyways, go ahead.
The political pressures are for wealth confiscation.
Yeah.
And taxing not unrealized gains, not only on like stocks you bought, but like your equity in your company, which, you know, we're not rich by any means, but you could kind of see the goalpost move from a billionaire tax to 100 million. And then I show you that post. Now it's 50 million. It's like, oh, so it's not going to stop there. It'll come down to regular people, just because the budget shortfall in California is like crazy.
That is startling. Tell me more. What's on your mind? Like just seeing Ro Khanna's tax, even these new mechanisms on unrealized gains, equity in a company. So meaning like you'd have to pay a tax on your equity in a business. Yeah. That's pretty wild. Not even your distributions.
Yeah. And for public companies, your voting rights. So I don't know, like Sergey Brin from Google owns like 6% of Google, but voting right wise, it's like, you know, like 50. I don't know, like 40%, I'd say. Then you pay taxes on 40% of Google. So that's crazy. And I want to say I'm not like a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm just like saying like, yeah, for this upcoming election, I have no idea who I'm gonna vote for. But like this is like kind of there are a lot of nuts, crazy things going on, not just on the Democratic side, but especially on the Republican side too. But this is part of the new wave of the Democrat Party, the DSA, Democratic Socialists. Whatever. So it's like, so you can see where the trajectory is going. All of the mechanisms that is generating. Okay, so here's the thing. If Thanos snapped his fingers and made all of the Democratic elites, the established and new elite aspirant elites of the Democrat Party disappear, it would just take another 2 years for the same ideas to come around, like the same type of leaders to come around anyways. So the source of this is all, of course, wealth disparity, which is very real, and in disenfranchised elite aspirants. So the lady that won this New York, she lost her job in law because she said something about free Palestine. So she became an elite a disenfranchised elite aspirant because she was at a nice law firm. And so she became this. This was her only outlet to get status because we're all status-seeking missiles. So like all of these disenfranchised elites, they're all gonna just jump on this train because that's how they're gonna get their status and wealth. And so there's that pressure. And then from the, frankly, like normal people, the general public, it's like rent's getting more expensive. It's harder to get a job. There's no point in going to school because you don't get a job anyways. And there's all sorts of crap going on. So they'll just, you just point a finger at something like data centers or the elites or anyone worth more than 50 million, and then they'll just blame that. And so all of these trajectories are just increasing. There is nothing stopping it. So I think the problem will just get worse. So that's why Texas. But even then, federal law overrules state. So it's like, okay, well, I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm not up to speed on this stuff. I'm just so heads down in my little pocket of the world. But in theory, the beauty of the country is we have 50 states, and each state can run a different experiment.
Yeah, on paper.
So in theory, you want a country where different states can run what they want. So like California can tax people at whatever they want above a certain number and just go for it, bro. But the problem is, like, we're based in California. We love California.
Yes.
But imagine an identical California, California 2. Or imagine drawing a line between NorCal and SoCal, like North and South Korea, and saying, hey, pick your side, and running. But, yeah. But the mass population moves in one direction, so a lot of creators and builders and makers are having to go somewhere else. They're going to like new pioneers, new frontiers. It's like when people first moved to the West Coast from the East, the West was the frontier. It was not comfortable. It was painful.
Right.
But that was the only way to try something new. Anyways, Jonathan, we better just get busy and it feels like such a big problem. What to do?
Well, it's actually quite clear what you need to do.
What do you have to do?
You have to fix wealth disparity. That is the core, that is the crux of the problem. It's some people have a lot more than others, but it's not even that. It's just it's becoming unaffordable to live as a normal person with a normal job. And so that's the crux. If you could solve that problem where you make it where the average person could have a normal life and live comfortably and fine, then you get rid of like I think probably 90% of the problems. Just that one thing. And so, I just need to do that.
It's been a minute. You're bringing me back to like school, because that like a question like how do you solve wealth disparity in America? It's different from like, hey, how do you grow a company by 20% year over year?
Yeah.
Like growing a company feels doable and noble. Managing a society is like a totally different game. It's another level of complexity.
Yeah.
And my mind just always goes back to like free market capitalism. Like free markets are the only proven way to generate prosperity in the country. So like, why is it so expensive? Like, how can you not purchase a home in California?
Yeah.
Is it get rid of regulation, allow builders to build?
Yeah. Just more houses.
Build more houses.
Yeah. Well, there is a world where even if you build, okay, I don't think this will be the case, but if we're trying to be more first principles, you could always generate more dollars than you can build houses. So like they're very edge case, but there's a world where you build as many houses as you want, but since real estate is an investment vehicle, the large entities like private equity or whatever will just buy up the houses. Of course, that kind of brings the price of the houses down maybe if you build a lot of them, but like it might not go down as fast as you think. That's an edge case, but for the most part, like Houston or Dallas or Austin, it's like if you build a lot of houses, like there's not prices go down.
Yeah.
That's for the most part. But fundamentally, it's like the price is based on how much money there is going into the real estate market. So even if, let's say, you cut you cut all new housing development, like there's no more, but people don't want to buy new homes because the prices are cratering somehow, like they are in China, then housing prices will go down, even if you don't build new. So fundamentally, it is just money and demand for housing. It is possible to nuke housing prices, probably. Ro Khanna can pass a law saying 100% real estate tax, and then prices will crater. So fundamentally, it is like just prices, not, yeah. I'm being an asshole about it, but yeah. Wait, what were we talking about?
We're talking about how to solve wealth disparity in the country, dude.
That's you just make more, and you distribute to the population in a way that doesn't destroy your society. That's basically what you have to do. And then so, I mean, the old ways aren't going to work anymore. That's the problem. Because you're going to have AI do a lot of work and robots do a lot of work. So then it's like this old way of just like, oh, just create jobs and people will get work. It's like, I'm like, that should really be questioned now.
What was the statistic about 23%? What was it? Retail,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So e-commerce projected to like take over brick and mortar, but really it's just 23% of retail sales. In a similar fashion, AI robots are predicted to take over the entire economy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they might just take up 23%.
Yeah. 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 I was like barely. I mean, like, well, what do you remember from the 2010s when you were reading about stuff like that? It was like
I
early
don't remember
2010s.
much. I just remember like it was all the rage. D2C was all the rage. But yeah, I mean Costco,
Yeah.
mass merchants, they meet different parts of the consumer's shopping needs. So there's a space for both of them.
Yeah. It's actually remarkable how full the malls still are. Like Brea Mall.
Yeah.
I was there recently. I was like, why is it so packed?
Yeah, people like that.
It was like packed.
Yeah. What else comes to mind? Okay, so you're thinking about politics, Ro Khanna. It's just concerning. It's concerning.
Yeah. And I like Ro Khanna because him and Thomas Massey were trying to get the Epstein files out. That's like universally, all right? Like anyone would be like, hey, yeah, we should find these people on the Epstein files. He was fighting for that. I was like, that's cool. I like him. And that was whatever. Whatever. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I think older people don't realize how big of an issue the past 10 years are. All of the morals and values and systems institutions that I've been brought up with are failing before my eyes. And actually our eyes, because we're both under 30. So especially if you're younger than 25, if you go on Roblox and you see what the kids are talking about, they're like, we're going to burn down the system. I'm not even joking, by the way. They would just literally just talk on the chat, like, burn down the country, burn down the system. Like, that's the type of attitudes you're bringing up. And it's not unjustified. So it's like, okay, well, it's just like all of these things that we came up with, like, oh yeah, like go to school. Oh yeah, here's how you do life. You can go to school and you can get married and you can have a job and you're gonna have a house. And we have a democracy and open markets and people are generally good and we have a justice system. It's like literally all of that is going away before our very eyes. And so older people don't realize how nihilistic the youth have become and how much this intrinsic thing inside of them, or like, we need to reset. Like that's becoming a very popular thing to say. Like, we just need to reset everything. And so they have no idea. They have no idea. That's why the DSA is winning in New York, because they're kind of like that. And you bet your ass there's going to be a right-wing version of the DSA.
Yeah.
That's going to be, and there's going to be a competition of who's more extreme, because the extremists always win. Like the communists in China, the Bolsheviks, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, but it's fun. It's fun to be living during these times.
Very interesting times. You and I have studied the same problem and kind of have the same relative North Star, but then the methods and the vocabulary sometimes is so different.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about these like Roblox guys. I'm thinking about how humans have lost the ability to connect with each other and just talk and feel kinship for each other. It's really weird. It's really weird. A good example is like when I went to Mexico for World Cup, there was this sense of kinship. But on a day-to-day basis in a society, what's the basis for like relationships? So you think about like, for instance, the death of Christianity as an institution in our country. I think you have a lot of people that don't have a group of 5 or 6 guys they see once a week.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, how's the week going? And they kind of go around the circle and they talk life. And they emerge out of that 1 hour hangout once a week or that dinner feeling like, hey, we're in it together. Hey, we're like trying to pursue the good life together.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a lot going wrong.
Wait, what did you feel in Mexico? Like everyone was more kinship?
Just, it was, yeah, Korea versus Czechia, and Korea and Mexico have such like fond feelings for each other.
Huh.
So just this general affection amongst fellow man without a deeper narrative,
I see.
like a teleological viewpoint, people lose, like, it's just nihilistic. So for instance, people that are drilled every day with this concept of like, hey, the meaning in life comes from serving others. It comes from like connecting with others. It comes from paying attention to each other. You just wake up like, that's your like MO.
I see.
But like every day we don't hear messages like that. Instead you hear messages like the world's corrupt.
Yeah.
The world's, it's all about power. Even like small interactions are about status.
Yeah.
And you got a whole generation of like people that like they have a different movie in their heads.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Completely different perception. It's funny because if you trace back to how human beings became social in the first place, like it is something like, 10 guys can always beat up one guy. So you're better off grouping together. And then you evolve to like start being super social and learn social dynamics. And you have a couple of ice ages where if people didn't like you, you were fed last, or you were kicked out of the tribe. So there's selection pressures. That's why we're all adhere to authority like really well.
Yes,
Like
yes,
we were
yes.
really good at following orders.
Yes, yes.
And there's probably selection pressures from that. So it's like, so the reason why people first became socialized is because that's how we better get our mass and energy. Like especially if we farm.
Interesting way to put it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because your culture always revolves around your source of mass and energy. Like, that experiment, not experiment, but like the island with different birds with different beaks, because that's where the food comes from. It's like same thing with humans or with any other animal, right? But it also definitely affects your psyche. So like how different, the theory of like East Asians had rice and it's way harder to cultivate than wheat. So like white people are like more individualistic, and then Asians are more collective. Although that is a problem because white people, basically Caucasians, they were nomadic people, horseback nomadic people for a long time. That doesn't really. That's I think that's a weaker argument. But basically, it's like your psyche, your biology stems from your source of mass and energy and how you get it. And so, if the reason why we became social in the first place was to get mass and energy, and then now here we are in modernity where it's so easy, you technically don't even need people to survive. Like you could have actually gone all throughout middle school, high school, college to job with like zero friends. You could do that. And so there's no need. There's no need to talk to people. The more you don't need to interact with people to survive, then the more this behavior comes where like you don't need this kinship anymore. Probably. That's the way I always thought of it.
By the way, as I listen to you, like when I was in sociology, there's like two schools of thought, two major schools of thought. One's conflict theory, one's functional theory.
Yeah.
So, and like a historical materialism that's focusing on, but the focus on the material constraints and how it drives history is not necessarily a conflict approach. Like it's all about power and resource struggles. Within the functional world, nature itself is a scarce environment, but that scarcity drives human creativity, and humans are pretty good at creating abundance. If you look at history overall, like it is the most prosperous time.
Yes.
So again, that depends on yeah, I think it's such a valid point how the material world drives history. And then you kind of get two different schools of thought. One, people are very pessimistic about this, and others like, it is the best of times. Like 2026 is still the best of times.
Yeah.
Like, you know how long people live? So then there's this interesting question about, okay, even if material conditions arrive, how about the human soul, the human psyche, the human psychology, the human spirit?
Yeah.
And it's like, then now you need to like pull in this other aspect of analysis.
Yes.
Like, why are these affluent societies so sick? Like, psychologically. Because we need more than food.
Yeah.
We need stories to live by.
Yeah.
But yeah, these things definitely go together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably weren't evolved for this level of abundance. We evolved for scarcity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just why. I mean, so it's fun to think about like within 100 years, we might be able to change human nature.
Interesting.
If you could just change our DNA, you could probably change a lot of things. Or, just the way our brains work. Because it is stupid. How come you're only happy on the pursuit of something? Because, you gotta chase that rabbit or something. But it's like, it is time to like evolve the human psyche to match our current level of technology. Like, that is necessary.
I always took it as first principle as like the world is entropy and chaos.
Yeah.
And satisfaction and fulfillment comes from like a pursuit of order and stability. And so like there's this game of life. Man, anyways. I don't have handles for you spend a lot more time thinking. When I was in college, I thought about this all the time. And once I graduated in 2018, I was like, how do I build this, So I think it's beautiful that you've kept that part. If anything, me meeting you kind of brings that part back.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
where I felt my intellect and personality getting a little bit more narrow.
Oh,
like
cool.
I wouldn't dare to handle a question like, how do you help the country? Like I was like,
Yeah.
I just stopped caring about things like that. But when you pose those questions, like, whoa, big questions. But I think that's how men should be thinking, actually, men and women, but especially men. It's like,
Yeah, there's
what? You're just gonna like sit here and let California do its thing, or do you dare to like take responsibility? I'm thinking about Jordan Peterson now. He says like, you need to take responsibility for your personal life, your family, your employer, your company,
Yeah.
your community.
Yes.
So, but you know what? I think that's why we make good partners too. Some of us are more specialized and skilled at different levels of the analysis. Your brain naturally loves working at this macro level, right?
I think maybe. Yeah.
These days, I'm so interested at like the church level, the community level, even the individual peer-to-peer friendship level. It's how can you solve a nation if you can't even solve a family?
Yeah.
But once again, here we see the human creative collective genius at play. Each of us can handle different parts of the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just very, very good. You naturally love the macro game.
Yeah.
You can just go on and on, and we need that, man.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? You know how what do you think of it? If there's like a broken friendship or a broken community or whatever, if you suddenly I don't know, like turn off all the electricity and like they no longer had access to food. Okay, well, actually maybe that's too much. Like let's say Thanos snapped his fingers and then they suddenly teleported to like 4000 BC. I think all of a sudden people will like each other a lot more.
This is an interesting hypothetical.
Yeah, maybe not like starve everyone because then it's like everyone for yourself, but it's like, oh, you're back in 4000 BC. You have to work together to survive, but you can survive only if you work together. I think all of a sudden people will love each other a lot more.
I hear you, man. That's funny.
Yeah,
It's funny. Okay, what else is on the docket? We'll always have a politics section, and it's going to consist of me trying to hang with you. You're going to be going off, and I'm going to be like,
yes. I think it should be more socially acceptable to talk about politics, especially in a democracy. That point that I brought up before, why in a censoring ourselves to not talk about politics is this in a democracy, like it is the stupidest place to enforce this cultural norm in a democracy.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to talk about things publicly, or else you just get your ideas from the media or social media. Like you have to talk to other people, and it can't just be within your family or friend group. Like, or else you just kind of get siloed. Like you should be able to like publicly talk about things, even if other people don't agree with it.
And that's the concept of Congress. It is a conversation, it is a debate, and truth emerges.
Yes.
And then that's why there's that beautiful, I was huge about this when I was in college, this idea of convention versus Congress. Like, we're all Americans, but I don't want Republicans in my Democratic house, and I don't want Democrats in my Republican house. Like, we're allowed to separate within the country. Like, within this grand savannah, we can create our own little conventions.
Yeah.
But then, as long as we agree to always meet together and have Congress, the second we stop having Congress,
Yes.
we're screwed. But then, weirdly, then there's some people that only want Congress. Like, hey, why are you separating? Hey, why are you taking a different identity? Hey, we should all like live together in the same state and run our country in the same way. It's like, dude, that's like totalitarian.
Yes.
So that tension between particular conventions and then a unified Congress is really, really beautiful, actually.
Yes. And hard fought.
And hard fought. Yeah, hence, I mean, the need for more political parties, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, there's a lot of people smarter than me on this, but to your point, like, you don't need to self-censor. You shouldn't self-censor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then one key thing that we are missing as society is implementing scientific and engineering principles to civilization, including politics, because it's hard to know. Okay, well, by having a purpose, if you have a purpose, then you can distinguish what's right or wrong. So instead of the foundations of your argument being totalitarianism is bad, democracy good, free markets good, like that has no bearing in the world of in the real world, as in like the laws of physics. And that's important because like what is the so again, like what is my okay, if people need purpose, if companies need purpose, civilizations need purpose as well.
Yeah.
And by having a purpose, then you can decide, is this action a net positive for that purpose or a net negative? So then you have good and bad. And so we should base our political ideas on, was this right for our purpose? Instead of going around in circles and concepts and ideas or opinions.
Wild time. Man.
So, but if you, okay, so again, I guess my proposal is that the purpose of a civilization is to organize labor and resources into systems and institutions that optimize the scientific, productive, and human well-being outputs. And so your basis of, is capitalism good, socialism good, totalitarian, whatever is good, is like what will increase, what is a net positive and what is a net negative. And you could measure these things.
That's interesting. You know, the way I formulate it, you obviously know I really love your formulation of it. For me, I take this different type of language, which is like the purpose of civilization and mankind is to pursue this infinite spirit that is good, beautiful, true, fair, just. Like, have you ever, what I'm drawing on here is the Westminster Catechisms, where, like, sometimes, like, when people think of, like, for instance, just that word God, they go, have you ever tried to define that word? Like, people just make things up. And then, interestingly, I think it's a surprisingly abstract, awe-inspiring, grand concept. It's like an infinite spirit that's beautiful, good, true. Like these virtues, like what makes science, like why is truth like something worth pursuing? Why is happiness worth pursuing? Why is progress worth pursuing? You know, there's some like endpoint value system.
Yeah.
And like where does that value system come from? So anyways, I'm trying to, I love drawing a bridge between two different types of languages. I think they're closer than people think.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the outputs that you mentioned, yeah, so that's your purpose. You have experiments, say, okay, we tried this out and we tried this out. How did that affect the outputs? And of course, the hard part is measuring it correctly. But if you measure it, then you can say, this gets us more, or this is a better net positive. So let's go in this direction. And like, you got to make sure you're not stuck in a local optimum. So you keep doing new experiments.
Yeah. I mean, so then you got all the isms, like all the political ideologies, gives rise to like a libertarian standpoint, which is like, don't even try. It's not doable. The system's too hard. It's too big.
Yeah.
The only thing we can manage is keeping the government small.
Okay.
Keep the government small. What is the nature of the state?
Yeah.
What is the nature of private property?
Yeah.
These are two big, powerful questions.
Yes.
Do you believe in a big state or a small state?
Depends on where you are on the map.
Fudge. I know, isn't it crazy? Yeah.
Okay, you can't afford to have a small, weak state if you're small and you're surrounded by enemies. But you can't afford to have a small state in the United States because you're, just Mexico, Canada, they're not as weak as they're not as strong as us, and you're surrounded by Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. So you could afford to have. That is my problem with libertarianism. It's like, do you not see these ideas can only possibly stem from having a secure environment? But this does not work everywhere else.
Yes.
This is not going to work in like Africa.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like it's not about these values. It's about your scientific, productive, and human well-being outputs. What will generate the most of these things?
Which is why the military has always been a state-driven enterprise.
Yes.
Like massive asymmetries in our ability to inflict violence. Like that's what we invest in constantly.
Yes.
As a state enterprise. It's not a market-driven, like, hey, we have 10 different armies and we contract with them. It's like, no, we will spend billions. Yeah. You're right.
And then that's why AI will not be decentralized.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most centralizing force since the Industrial Revolution, and it will affect military power a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, what if I could run the latest coding models on my calculator? It's like, okay, then I will. Well, who could produce more calculators, you or 1,000 people? So that's why it doesn't matter how more efficient you make things. The central government can always get more resources than you can, so things will become more centralized because that's where the power will pull. And because humans are such cucks and we're so adhere to authority so much, this is the natural way of things. So, okay, yeah. But yeah,
interesting. I'm just thinking about the connection between the outside, the central, where all the resources gather, the power of the state, and then also the outside, the strangers on the outside, the perimeter, and there's this unique interplay because you get innovation from both sides.
Yeah,
that very fruitful tension. Anyhow, anything else?
New topic.
New topic.
Okay, new topic. Okay. I guess we have every week to talk about this.
Yeah, okay, we're at 39 minutes, so maybe we'll do 10 more minutes. What's a different topic? I'll suggest one. Okay, let's talk about, did we have any new takes or feelings on, at the end of the day, this podcast is for Manga, which is our product. So anything related to the work we're doing is obviously one part of our docket. So anything else come up?
Companies need control loops. Wait, did we go over that last week?
We did. What was on your mind this week? Did any new thoughts come up in your mind around what we're doing?
Oh yeah. It's totally. We devised a new way. We're pretty sure it'll work to have companies run almost entirely by agents on the operations side. Like we drew it out and like, oh yeah.
Elaborate on that, like. Because that's been a concept, but what was new this week in terms of that thought? What was new this week?
I think when you iron out, okay, well, I guess we didn't iron out the details, but you go into more depth about exactly how things will work, and you break it down to smaller and smaller parts. Like, oh, yeah, actually, you can, and it's not just true for this company. It's like any company actually, because they all kind of follow the same stuff in our framework that we came up with.
Jumping off that thought, I believe this was a thought from this week, not last week.
Mm-hmm.
The massive list of verbs.
Oh yeah.
It's less fun it's always fun to talk about it the first time, but I guess for a podcast, like, because we already talked about it.
Yes.
It kind of loses its freshness.
It's still good.
Anyways, the simple point is, Our approach to the enterprise is to decompose the enterprise into a massive list of verbs.
Yeah.
I wonder if even that sentence will start getting popular in our industry. Like, decompose the enterprise into a massive list of verbs. Like, people just keep talking about automating, but they don't talk about, like, automate what? Some mass, like, macro phenomenon? Like, dude, you first need to, like, I don't know what the technical word is for taking a large phenomenon and breaking into all these specific parts. You got to perform a phenomenology.
Yeah. I guess you just break it down.
Yeah, break it down. Break it down. Like, decompose, hardcore. So, like, really good. Anyways, that was our realization. We've had this concept for a while, but I guess this week, as we go live this Friday, got to actually, like, take what 4 people do, like the 4 people that sit there,
Yeah.
and just be like, hey, like, how do we represent this?
Yeah.
That was cool. It was just
Yeah.
cool, to be honest.
It is funny because if you could write down everything a company does on a piece of paper. Like that's what companies do today, or at least they try to do that. And if it's you can write it on a piece of paper, it can be read by an AI, and so it can do everything.
Yeah. That's another interesting thought. Like, what if, has anyone created a massive company description, almost like a job description?
Yeah.
Like a massive document
Yeah.
that captures every single process?
Yeah.
If you think about it, you can like there's some like process mapping tools, but like it's too big of an endeavor, to be honest, as companies get big.
Yeah.
But if that massive list is actually actionable, it's how you run the business, it just gets maintained naturally. It's not just some abstract exercise to better comprehend the business. I think
Right.
it'll be an interesting artifact that emerges from like a Mango implementation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So break down a company into all the different verbs, which is totally doable. And then once you do that, you could get agents with some direction. You could get agents to actually do every single part. As long as done on a computer, you could do it. I guess the hardest part is like actually extracting all the verbs. Like you could do it really well for 180. Oh shit. Well, yeah, 180 because you know the verbs very well. But like we're trying to go to other people is like that might suck a little bit.
Yeah.
But there are ways.
A great miracle would be if you could go from artifacts to verbs just by observing.
Yeah, if we're trying to take that saying like, assume it's possible, how would it work? Like completely
That was cool. That gave us a lot of energy this week.
Yeah.
Assuming it's possible, how would it work?
Yeah. And right now the golden egg, right? Like how enterprise the saying is enterprises are sticky. Once you get a software for enterprise, it's so sticky. Like that's the golden egg, but that's fundamentally not true.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. My brain wants to believe they're so sticky. Yeah.
So our goal is like, if you could get an enterprise to completely shift to another piece of software in 72 hours, how would you do that? And we did just no meetings. You cannot rely on human to human communication. That's not going to work. And you basically need a system that somehow like looks at everyone's screens, everyone's text, everyone's emails, like all the actions that you do digitally, and somehow like capture all that and create the giant list of verbs. Wait, there's
I'm following. What was another interesting idea? Like anything else electric this week that we were like, fuck, like, trying to think.
do it. Oh, hey, yesterday I was watching some tech elites play Mafia.
Okay.
There's this Founders Fund. I guess they're just hosting Mafia games in SF. And then they had Palmer Lucky, Sam Altman.
Oh, that's crazy. Like actually playing Mafia in person?
Yeah, they had like AP. I don't remember everyone's name, but like the CEO of Figma, CEO of Flexport, CEO of Brian Johnson was there. And then they played 3 games. And it was like fun seeing them all play. It was cool.
You can see the personalities.
Yeah. But I think Brian Johnson's like very nice. He's a very nice guy in the friend group. You can tell.
Interesting. I would have thought he's like vain or something. You like yeah, who's pursuing longevity? He wants to like be obsessed with his
No,
self-image.
he's so nice.
Wow,
You
that's
can tell.
interesting.
But it's funny because you know how like people had no way to judge these people, but then everyone's played Mafia, so you can kind of measure people based on that.
And they're all super high IQ, so they understand
Yeah.
the dynamics of social geometry.
And that's funny too because they kind of sucked at it. The first round, I was like, because I try to play along, so I like try to not see. I was like, how do you not see that this person's Mafia? What, are you kidding me? And then like it went down to like this last vote, and both of them had the most unbelievable, like they voted the other villager out instead of the Mafia, but it was like incredibly obvious this person was the Mafia.
Interesting.
I was like, wait, but they were drunk.
I can't believe they signed up for this.
Yeah,
Like, what's the benefit?
I think it's good PR because all of a sudden everyone there got humanized.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's actually, if you want to decrease envy in society and not like demonize Sam Altman or whoever, you just watch them play a game that we've all played together, like Mafia.
So that's, I believe in that. Like even me, like as we run this business, 180, and then also our software business, if and when it becomes very, very successful, like envy will be a problem, but by being vulnerable and sharing like our stories, I think that's important.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is, I think one of the purposes of wealth is to be able to say things that a lot of people can't because they don't have the power or strength or they're scared. I think there is
true.
definitely an obligation,
Yes.
rich and powerful people, to say the things that everyone wants to say, but no one can.
Yes.
So
Elite responsibility.
yeah, there is responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if someone that doesn't have that power says it, then they'll get like thrown out and like, oh, that's why you're so weak.
Yeah.
But if someone that has power says it, it's like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in that concept. All right, hey, anything else before we wrap it up?
There's a lot, but I guess we'll just wrap it up.
Yeah, because we're at 49 minutes.
When's the first podcast gonna come out? Doesn't software edit it, or is there some like manual
Software
stuff?
does edit it. To be honest, I was just mad busy. I can do it tomorrow. I can publish on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it up faster. I'm trying to figure out, like, are we recording interesting enough content? Like, do we need to get it tighter? But the spirit of building something is we just do it. Just effing put it out there. And it should make us cringe. The first couple should make us cringe later. When we watch it, we're like, oh my gosh, that was so wild. But that's how you know, like, we did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first video. What do you say? We're both facing right.
Yeah.
Oops.
We're facing the wrong way.
Oopsies.
So like the politics corner, I like that because that's part of our personalities.
Yeah.
That's also really you, which I love. Like I want to celebrate that.
Okay.
This ability to like be responsible at a larger level.
Yeah.
Like to demonstrate what it's like to talk about politics. That's one. Then I have my whole like I'm always trying to spin the language in a different way, right?
Yeah.
That's its own little part. Then we talk about, electrifying ideas within our product, and then random things that were interesting across the industry. And the ratio we can just keep playing with.
Mm-hmm. We can bounce back and forth pretty easily.
Yeah.
We talk about our progress. I think one underrated, I think we could honestly get 180 to be one of the first companies in the world that does real business work, and like not just white collar law or marketing work, but like warehouse down there, like moving products and selling it to, like you could pick up a product from Costco and be like, an agent brought this here. I think we could be one of the first companies to actually have it be like that, mostly agentic work. It is like totally possible. I think people would like to hear how the progress is going. But let it be known, it is totally possible, and we drew it out exactly how it's gonna work. And it's not like voodoo marketing. It's like actually.
I don't think it's voodoo marketing. Yeah. And I think what matters, the journey is the prize. That's what I was thinking about today. It's hard to remember, but like the fact that we even get to do this today is the prize.
That's true. That is true.
Like this is the example. Everyone wants to like have a Huntington Botanical Gardens. Have you been there before? It's like massive gardens,
Okay.
like world class, acres and acres and acres.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Everyone wants to like have something like that, but it's like, dude, you have to enjoy pulling out one weed at a time from the sidewalk. Like
Yeah.
if you love the act of gardening at a small micro level, you will put yourself in a position to build a cathedral. But like a lot of times people want like they don't enjoy it, the act of laying the brick. But I was trying to encourage myself too. It's like,
yeah.
great, it's gonna be fun when we have 100 customers.
Yeah.
But also like this is the thrill now.
Yeah.
Like this is the thrill. Getting customer one live,
Yeah.
that joy, that's what we have to be obsessed with. The joy of helping one customer. And if we truly love our customers and like creating peace where there's entropy, naturally, like next thing you know, we like open our eyes and it's like, dude, we just went live on our 10,000th customer.
Yeah.
But our joy is the same as the first.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we did something worth doing. Like we made people less stressed.
Yes.
We brought order to a good company filled with good people trying to like build good careers and serve the marketplace well. So it's like when were we going to consider ourselves successful? I think we should start with customer one. If we go live with customer one in some like huge way, Jonathan, we've done something super, super, super real.
Yes.
And we'll celebrate that. And then we got to be like evangelists, not mercenaries, chasing a number.
Yes.
It's like, no, like we just believe in like the good news.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and I get that from you a lot. I see your joy in the day-to-day process, so that's pretty inspiring, man. Keep doing you.
Yes. Yeah, it's fun. Like, seeing that there's a API request timeout from this morning, which happened last week as well. Just like figuring out why it's doing that.
Yeah.
And then it turns out I did something very inefficient in the back end. I was posting things in a really dumb way, but I thought I needed to do it, so now I'm just revisiting. It's like fun, you know. Also, I do think there is some merit to keeping the dev servers like really shitty, because
it forces you
to make the I think I might just keep it this way.
Cool.
It's just a web app. It shouldn't take more than. Okay, so for listeners, I bought like the cheapest AWS option.
Okay.
Or second cheapest. I bought half a CPU core.
Yeah.
But that should still be enough for like, 2 people to run Django on it.
Yeah.
So if we're not running on it properly now, then we got to fix some stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I have some ideas.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I think this is good content.
Yeah.
I think it's good content.
I think people are going to be like, why are they rambling? But I think that if we capture the right audience.
What people get addicted to is when we experience emotion.
Okay.
Hey, that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, whenever they see us like as another like guideline for what we do, we should aim to show our anger, our frustration, our sadness, our elation. We should wear it on our sleeve. Otherwise, this medium is not for us.
I see.
So we both have to, it's not faking it. It's just adjusting to the medium.